Have you ever stayed silent when someone crossed the line, hoping things would change on their own? Have you ever forgiven someone again and again, only to find yourself more broken each time? How many times will you choose peace over confrontation until you lose your own peace entirely? Welcome to a place where we don't sugarcoat the truth. This is about self-respect. This is about strength. This is about choosing yourself. Before we dive in, subscribe if you're ready to grow, set unshakable boundaries, and live with clarity, not confusion. This is for those on a path of self-mastery and stoic power. Now let's begin, because mercy without growth is just enabling destruction. 1. Silence isn't strength. When it protects the wrong people. We often glorify silence as a symbol of inner strength. We're taught to bite our tongues, to not rock the boat, and to choose peace over confrontation. Society praises those who remain, calm in the face of injustice, as if their silence makes them morally superior. But this is a dangerous misconception. Silence, especially in the presence of mistreatment, isn't always a virtue. It can be a form of surrender. When someone crosses a boundary and we remain silent, we aren't being wise, we're being complicit. We allow disrespect to fester. Worse, we train the offender to believe their behavior has no consequence. Over time, this silence becomes a habit. You find yourself swallowing the words that scream to be spoken, walking on eggshells to keep the peace, and suppressing your own needs just to avoid conflict. But here's the harsh truth. Silence can be a prison. It is a self-imposed sentence where you hand over your dignity in exchange for temporary harmony. You lock yourself in a cage and give the key to those who've hurt you. It's not strength, it's fear disguised as peace. And fear never builds strong foundations. It only deepens your dependency on dysfunctional dynamics. People often remain silent out of hope, the hope that things will change, that the offender will realize their wrongs on their own. But waiting for change without action is just passive suffering. Change doesn't come from avoidance. It comes from confrontation, boundaries, and the willingness to say, "This is not okay." Silence may keep the peace externally, but it creates chaos internally. You start questioning your worth. You begin to wonder if you're overreacting, if your pain is valid. Eventually, you stop trusting your own voice. And that is the most dangerous loss of all. Not the loss of a relationship, but the loss of your self-respect. Strength is not found in enduring abuse quietly. It is found in speaking up, in drawing lines, in refusing to be someone's doormat. Strength is walking away when staying means compromising your soul. It's saying, "I deserve better," and meaning it. It's understanding that peace bought at the price of your dignity is no peace at all. When we stop mistaking silence for maturity, we start healing. When we choose truth over comfort, we reclaim our power. Remember, you are not difficult for demanding respect. You are not wrong for protecting your boundaries. And you are not weak for walking away from those who benefit from your silence. 2. Mercy, without accountability, is a recipe for chaos. Forgiveness is a powerful force. It allows us to release anger, to unburden ourselves, and to find peace in the aftermath of hurt. But forgiveness in isolation can also be dangerous. When mercy is given without accountability, it invites chaos. It tells the wrongdoer that their actions have no weight. It creates a world where people can harm others and walk away without consequence. Many people believe that forgiving someone, even when they haven't changed, is the ultimate sign of strength. They see it as a moral high ground. But forgiveness without boundaries is not strength, it's self-sabotage. You can forgive someone and still expect them to take responsibility. You can release your anger and still walk away. Mercy should never mean tolerating repeated harm. The problem arises when mercy becomes habitual. When someone continuously disrespects you and you continue to forgive them, you're not showing grace. You're showing them that their actions are inconsequential. And that's not healing. It's enabling. Let's be clear. Real growth comes from facing consequences. Change doesn't sprout in the soil of comfort. It grows in discomfort, in the painful recognition of having caused harm. If you shield someone from that discomfort, you're not helping them. You're stunting their growth. Imagine a child who breaks rules without facing discipline. What happens? They learn that rules are optional. The same applies to adults. If someone sees they can hurt you, apologize or not, and still maintain access to you, why would they stop? People learn how to treat you by observing what you tolerate. That's why it's essential to pair mercy with accountability. Saying, "I forgive you," should not automatically mean you still get to be in my life. It can also mean, "I forgive you, but I need space." Or, "I forgive you, but you need to show me through your actions that you've changed." This balance protects your well-being while still honoring your capacity for grace. Mercy should never come at the cost of your safety, sanity, or dignity. Boundaries are not punishments, they are protections. They ensure that your kindness doesn't become a weakness to exploit. Accountability ensures that your forgiveness doesn't become an open invitation for abuse. In relationships, romantic, familial, or platonic, this principle matters deeply. Love is not a license to harm. Connection does not excuse bad behavior. If someone values you, they will take ownership of their actions. If they don't, then your forgiveness, while noble, will be wasted. Ultimately, forgiveness is for you, but accountability is for them. And when both are present, healing becomes possible for everyone involved. 3. Patterns don't lie. Apologies often do. We've all heard apologies that sounded sincere. Words wrapped in guilt, eyes glistening with regret. "I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I didn't mean it." And for a moment, we want to believe them. We want to believe that people change, that our pain was just a momentary lapse in their character. But here's what time teaches us. Words are cheap. Anyone can say sorry. What matters is whether they change. And if they don't, their apology was just a performance. Apologies are easy. They require no effort, no real transformation. But patterns, those are honest. Repeated behavior is the clearest indicator of someone's intentions. When someone consistently shows you who they are through their actions, believe them. One mistake? Maybe it was accidental. 2, maybe they're struggling. But when someone repeatedly hurts you, dismisses you, lies to you, or disrespects your boundaries, it's no longer a mistake. It's a message. They're telling you, "This is who I am. This is how I treat you." And each time you accept an apology without change, you reinforce that message. We often want to explain away patterns because we're afraid of what the truth might mean. We think they had a bad childhood, or they're just going through something, or they didn't mean to. But intent doesn't erase impact. You can understand someone and still walk away. You can have compassion for someone and still protect yourself. Every time you make excuses for a pattern, you silence your intuition. You gaslight yourself. You begin to second-guess what you've seen with your own eyes. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it becomes to leave. You become addicted to the potential of who someone could be while ignoring the reality of who they are. The truth is usually right in front of us, but we don't always want to see it, because once we do, we know we have to act. And action is hard. It means grieving. It means letting go. It means breaking patterns in ourselves too, like the need to fix others or the hope that love alone is enough to change someone. But freedom begins with truth. And truth begins with patterns. If someone's actions consistently hurt you, that's who they are, at least for now. And unless they show a consistent, long-term effort to change, no apology will ever be enough. Stop explaining away the signs. Start honoring what you see. Because the longer you ignore the pattern, the more it becomes your own. 4. Boundaries aren't cruel. They're clarity. People will call you harsh when you finally stand your ground. Let them. Because the truth is, many have benefited from your silence. They've grown comfortable in the absence of your boundaries. They've mistaken your kindness for weakness, your flexibility for permission. And when that ends, when you finally decide to draw a line, they'll act like you've changed, like you're the problem. But setting boundaries isn't about cruelty. It's not about punishing others. It's about protection of your time, your energy, your emotional well-being. It's about saying, this is what I will allow, and this is what I won't. And that's not harsh, that's clarity. A life without boundaries is a life open to misuse. People will treat you however they want, not how you deserve if you don't teach them otherwise. Think about it. How many times have you felt drained after a conversation, stressed after saying yes when you wanted to say no, or resentful for giving your time to someone who wouldn't do the same for you? That's not peace. That's quiet suffering. Boundaries are the language of self-respect. They're a way of declaring that your time is valuable, your emotions matter, and your needs are real. They're not walls to keep people out. They're gates to control what gets in. You're not shutting the world out. You're choosing what enters your world. And yes, people might be offended. They might accuse you of being distant, selfish, or cold. But that's often a reflection of how they benefited from your lack of boundaries in the past. Their discomfort is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to protect your peace. We live in a culture that often praises selflessness to a fault. Sacrifice is celebrated while self-care is questioned. But the truth is, no one can pour from an empty cup. You can't be a good friend, parent, partner, or professional if you're constantly drained. Boundaries are how you preserve your strength. They are how you show up fully without resentment. Remember this: boundaries are not demands. They're not ultimatums. They're choices. You're not trying to change other people. You're changing how you interact with them. You're letting them know, if you speak to me this way, I will walk away. Or, if you continue to disrespect my time, I will not prioritize yours. It's not about control, it's about consequence. And boundaries aren't just for others, they're also for you. You have to enforce them consistently. You can't draw a line and then erase it every time someone pressures you. You have to honor your own limits, even when it's uncomfortable. Because each time you betray your own boundaries, you send yourself the message that your needs don't matter. And that message sticks. Boundaries may cost you relationships, but they will never cost you your peace. The people who truly care for you will adapt. They may not like it at first, but they'll come to understand that your self-respect is not a threat to your relationship. It's the foundation of a healthy one. And the people who walk away, they were never invested in a respectful connection to begin with, so let them talk. Let them call you harsh. Let them misunderstand your intentions. That's their journey, not yours. Your journey is about healing, growth, and alignment. It's about choosing clarity over confusion. It's about saying, I will no longer abandon myself to make others comfortable. Because you are not here to be used, you are here to live in truth. 5. You don't need permission to protect your peace. One of the most liberating truths you will ever learn is this: you don't need permission to protect your peace. We spend so much of our lives waiting for approval, for validation, for someone to say it's okay to choose ourselves. But you don't owe anyone an explanation for wanting peace. You don't need a justification to rest, to disconnect, to walk away from noise, chaos, or toxicity. Peace is not something you must earn, it is your birthright. When someone violates your space, repeatedly drains your energy, or consistently disrespects your boundaries, you don't need to ask yourself, will they understand if I pull back? The truth is, they probably won't, and that's okay. Understanding is optional, your peace is not. Walking away from what drains you isn't a betrayal, it's wisdom. It's knowing that you can't grow in a toxic environment. It's recognizing that no matter how much love or effort you pour into a situation, some people will still choose to misunderstand you, misuse your presence, or ignore your needs. And when that happens, you don't respond with guilt, you don't respond with fear, you respond with distance. Distance doesn't require drama. It doesn't require a grand exit speech or emotional fireworks. It's a quiet decision, a shift in your energy, a new standard. You don't scream, I deserve better. You simply choose better and keep walking, because not everyone is meant to go where you're going. Not everyone deserves access to your spirit, your kindness, your attention. And the more you protect your peace, the more you'll attract those who honor it. There is a kind of power that comes from saying no without explanation, from stepping back without guilt, from reclaiming your time and deciding who gets to share your world. That power is born from inner clarity, a clarity that says, I am no longer available for what disturbs my peace. You see, peace isn't the absence of conflict, it's the presence of alignment. It's knowing that your actions, values, and environment all match. It's the deep, steady calm of being in the right place, with the right people, doing the right thing. Anything that disrupts that alignment, even subtly, is not worth the cost. Some may call you selfish, but selfishness isn't putting yourself first. It's doing so at the expense of others. Protecting your peace is different. It's not about harming others, it's about refusing to harm yourself. And that distinction matters. Too many people live in survival mode, emotionally overextended and mentally exhausted because they've been conditioned to feel bad for choosing peace. Don't be one of them. Refuse to shrink. Refuse to compromise your well-being just to keep someone else comfortable. You're not cruel for saying enough. You're not cold for stepping away. You are wise. You are discerning. You are grounded. Enough to know that your energy is sacred and not everyone deserves access to it. So let them think what they want. Let them call you distant, guarded, or selfish. The ones who truly know you will understand, and those who don't, they never saw you clearly to begin with. At the end of the day, your peace is your responsibility. No one else will protect it for you. No one else will prioritize it like you can, so do not hesitate. Guard it fiercely, cherish it deeply, and never, never wait for permission to choose it. Choose yourself, or be chosen by chaos. The people who violate your boundaries will call you cold when you stop accepting their disrespect. Let them talk. Let them feel the weight of their own actions. This isn't revenge, it's reality. Let consequence do what your silence never could. If this message hit home, subscribe and join a growing tribe of warriors choosing truth over comfort, discipline over chaos, and self-respect over validation. Stoicism isn't cold, it's clarity. And in clarity, you will find your power. Now ask yourself, what will you no longer allow?